What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 77 of the RXP podcast, the podcast where three working professionals talk all about their love for movies, TV shows, and video games. Today, I am your host. My name is Matt, and I am with Tiffany.
Hi, everybody.
And Alex.
You know, I was going to celebrate us finally getting to an episode that wasn't just a list, but then I realized, wait, this episode's also just going to be a list, isn't it?
No, see, a list would mean that we're in a specific order, and we're going in, like one after another, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. No. That is not this episode. We are wild today. We're going all about.
Yeah.
It's a web. It's just a web. Yeah. Because this is the year of the spider, from what I've heard. Because, we've got Into the Spider-Verse. Or is that what it's called?
Across the Spider-Verse.
Across the Spider-Verse. I knew it was wrong as soon as I said it. Across the Spider-Verse. We got Spider-Man 2. We got Spider-Man, Miles Morales, Venom, Carnage, everything in Marvel Snap. Which, we're all hyped for. Because, we were even texting each other today. Talking about some Marvel Snap stuff. This is the year of the spider. I'm telling you. Guys, this is a new year. We've already been talking about this. It's January. Honestly, it's almost February. Lunar New Year. Found out that was already passed. But Lunar New Year events in video games, Marvel Snap, everywhere is still going on. So we're going to still count it because today's episode is all about our New Year's resolutions when it pertains to entertainment. So anything, yeah. Basically anything that we talk about on this podcast is free game for us to talk about. So I'm talking movies, I'm talking TV shows, I'm talking video games, I'm talking books, everything that we entertain ourselves. Maybe there's something, hey, haven't given enough time with this in the past, or hey, I want to pick up a new skill. Anything goes. Are you guys ready? Because it's about time.
I'm actually very ready because then I feel like this is I'm going to be held accountable. Maybe. Yeah. Potentially. Because it's on record.
100%. So here's also the thing. I'm going to need your all's help to remember this in a year. Because then we can make another episode and say hey, did we actually do anything? We did it when we made predictions for the Game Awards. But that was only for a month. We only had to remember for a month. This having to remember for a whole year might forget, but potentially we'll have another episode in about 12 months, we'll say.
Yeah.
Maybe.
That sounds good.
We'll see.
That sounds good. Let's do it.
Sounds good.
No midterm update. You got to stick to this on your own guidance.
That's right.
Yep.
So I'm going to start off because I don't want to ask you guys to take a step out onto the new year without me sharing something that before we even had this topic, I was already doing. Because let's be honest, it's almost the end of January, so we're about a 12th of the way through the year.
Yeah.
One of my New Year's resolution, I love movies. It is no surprise to anyone that I love movies. It is one of my favorite mediums. It is a great time. It's definitely something where the more obscure the reference that I insert into a conversation, the more joy that it brings me. When people are like, what is that from? It's perfect. That's exactly what I'm after, right? I watch a lot of movies. Historically, I've watched way more movies than I do now. But my goal is to not only watch 52 movies, so one movie a week this year.
Okay.
But to also log all of them on Letterboxd, the app that's very similar to GG, and I'm going to rate them on a 5-star and then rank them in a list. So at the end of this year, my goal is to have at least 52 movies ranked and rated in this app that I watched in 2023.
Wait a second.
Okay.
You said this wasn't going to be a list episode. This sounds like you're making a list.
Hold on.
Listen,
I have questions.
I'm addicted to lists.
Okay, number one, have you used that app before, or did you stumble upon it?
So I have used it before.
Okay.
Maddie and we are going through the MCU, and I found this app because I wanted to, now that we're going through them plenty of times for me, it's Maddie's first time through the MCU. So we are rating them, or sorry, not rating them, we're ranking them as we go along. It's kind of like the objective. Here is the rankings. And it's really fun to kind of see where she ranks things and where I rank them. Like Infinity War, we just finished up. One of my favorites. Maddie hated that everyone died. It's like the bottom of her list. Like it is come on. It's
I know. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
So
okay,
it's actually
I love that.
Really fun to see how our ranks differ, and so that's really the only reason I've used the app. And so now I'm going to just like do it everywhere for everything.
Okay.
So far I've watched 3 movies, so I'm on track.
So my next follow-up question is, so this app allows you to make multiple lists, because like, do you have your own and then Maddie, like you have 2 lists in there, one's for you, one's for her?
Yeah.
And then okay.
I have 3 lists now. So I have her MCU rank, my MCU rank, and then a 2023 watch list rank. And
awesome. I love that.
It's
love
awesome.
That journey.
It's a free app if you're into that sort of thing. It's kind of like equivalent to like GG or Goodreads or anything like that.
Yeah.
Or actually, you can just use a good old notepad.
No, I don't like that. Fun fact, 2 fun facts. Well, actually, no, a fun fact and question. I found out last night that that Amazon bought Goodreads like in 2013 or something. So that explains a lot. That's just a factoid I'm throwing out there. My second point is does that app have every type of movie, like even streaming movies, like Netflix movies versus like? Okay, so you're not limited.
So it has everything. Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
The cool thing
I'm
about
excited for you.
Yeah, no, like it's awesome. So one movie I watched this year that came out last year is The Pale Blue Eye, which actually is a Netflix movie, and it has Christian Bale in it. The cool thing about it is you put in your rating, and then based upon other users, it has like an average rating. So it's but you can also use it almost like IMDb, where you can be like, who played this actor? Okay, let's click on him and see like what other movies he's in. So it's like if you're really interested in one particular actor, you can go just on this rabbit hole that just gives you a ton of new recommendations. Very, very cool.
Can you repeat that app again?
It is Letterboxd. So Letterbox, and instead of ED, it's just D. So it's Letterboxd.
Like 2 Ds? Oh, no, Letterboxd.
Just 1D.
Oh, got it. Yeah. 1D, yeah, because I don't know how to spell. You know, that's so funny that you say that as one of your goals, because one of my goals is to watch 10 movies specifically in the theater. So
that's awesome.
I love the theater, or like you know, in the past, like love the theater. When MoviePass was still a thing, I got that for Christmas, and I watched the hell out of movies in the theater. I saw like 48 movies in the theater. Like the following year, like in that year, it was 2018 was my year of MoviePass, and I saw like 47 to 48 movies. I think I wanted to get to 52 like theater movies, but I didn't make it, and it was kind of a bummer. Mainly because right before Infinity War came out, they came out with the rule that you could only watch each movie once because they were losing so much money because of like people like me. I'd saw Black Panther twice with MoviePass, and I was prepared to see Infinity War. I was prepared to see Infinity War like for 7 days in a row. Like I was just ready to like just go to the theater and just like continue to watch it. But they were like, no, we'll only pay for one showing of that movie. So I was like, okay, that's fine. But yeah, so I did, I'm not gonna lie, I was like, should I make the goal 12 movies, like 1 movie a month that I'll go to the theater? And then I was like, let's be more real about this. So I actually went through and I was like, okay, I have actually 10 to like 11 movies I genuinely want to see in the theater, or like I'd like to see it the month it comes out. So I was like, let's do it. I'm gonna do it, Matt. 10 movies, and you know what? I'll track them. I'll make sure to track those as well to let you
Okay.
know which
Excellent.
10 movies. I mean, we've already got February covered because we're going to go see Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. So that's
Yeah.
already one movie. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's
What
one of my
other
goals
movies
this year.
are on your list that you think that you'll go see?
Yeah. So I have a couple mad definites. Like legit, we're getting 3 Marvel movies this year. So 100% I'm going to go see them in the theater. The Marvels, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. So that's 3 down, right? The ones that I'm like, I should go, I'm like, I should make it out there. Shazam 2, Fury of the Gods. I really enjoyed Shazam 1. Like, let me go enjoy Shazam 2. Another movie is the Dungeons and Dragons movie. Like, that sounds like it'd be a fun time. Like, why not?
That movie fascinates me so much because I just don't know what to expect.
Exactly.
Honestly.
But guess what? Regal Cinemas, although they have closed over 30 theaters nationwide, they still have Discount Tuesdays. So
Do they really? I didn't
Yes.
even know that.
Oh, did you not know about Discount Tuesdays ever?
No.
Or just like
No.
Oh my gosh, are
Tell
you
me
kidding
more.
me? Discount
Yeah.
Tuesdays, Matt, it's like $6.50 to see a movie on Tuesday at any time. You could see the movie at 11
Wow.
a.m. or you could see it at 8 p.m. and it's like $6.50. Everyone, listeners, please check your local listings. I don't know what your regional value of Regal Discount Tuesdays is, but I remember back in the day
They're like,
when
mine
it
is
used to be
$6.75. I'm suing RXP podcast.
Yeah. But in the past, it used to be. I remember when it was $5 Tuesdays. So they've been doing it for like a decade. Like I've been
Where have
out
I
and
been?
about. Yeah, and like it's just a ploy to get people out in the theater because most of the time people like going on a Friday or Saturday. You know what I mean? But if I can save apparently $10 from buying like a Friday night opening ticket, like I'll go on a Tuesday. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So yeah, those are some. And then, there's the Hunger Games movies coming out in December. There's Alex mentioned John Wick 4. Don't necessarily think I'm going to go see that in theater, but that's an option for me. There's like Disney's coming out with a Haunted Mansion movie. I don't know, maybe.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. That's
Are you going to
probably
watch
not gonna-
Oppenheimer? July
Maybe.
21st?
Maybe.
Come on.
Maybe.
Join me.
Or
I'll
are you
watch
going
it
to
day
the
one.
theater? You're watching.
Yeah.
Oh, day one. That's gonna be like $17.
That's
I'll
going
have
to be
think
one
about
of
it.
his 52 movies.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
I mean,
Listen,
I'm gonna see
I
Mario.
will wait until Tuesday if it gets you to join. I can wait till
Okay,
Tuesday.
if you're gonna wait till a Tuesday, I'm in.
Okay.
If
sweet.
let's look at the calendar, make sure I'm in town. But yes, if
Right,
I'm
right.
in town the Tuesday after it releases, I'll go with you to see this
Excellent.
4-hour Christopher Nolan film.
It's gonna be great. All hours, all of it. It's gonna be fantastic. And Super Mario Bros. Movie, like, man, I can't wait to see what that is.
That's gonna be like a Thursday. That's gonna be
Yeah.
or a Friday. You know what? That one I could wait till Friday. I could wait till Friday if scheduling needs it.
It's like, what kind of spoilers are you gonna really be seeing? You know, it's like,
Exactly. Yeah.
was Peach in
exactly.
another castle? Like, who
Yeah.
knows? If they don't do that, like, I'll be a little bit sad that they didn't do that joke. You know,
Okay. Yeah.
mark it
Yeah,
down,
but-
everybody.
Mark it down. Yeah, 10 movies. Let's see if I do
Okay.
it in the theater.
I believe in
10
you.
movies in the theater. Yeah.
See, I can do a lot of my 52 movies through streaming, through different means, right? You actually have to put in the money. Like, besides like a
Yeah.
monthly payment, I guess. Like,
That's true.
If you aren't doing Discount Tuesdays, like, whew, even if you are, like, that's still,
You're
You know,
right. That's like
$65, whatever.
$150
yeah.
if
Wait,
I don't
how did
do
we
the
get
Discount
to-
Tuesday.
Oh, if you
No.
don't get, I was like,
If I don't do the Discount Tuesday.
I was like, am I really bad at math? Like, what is
No.
this? Anyway, excellent. I think that's great. Alex, you know, I know you had just an easy time getting these resolutions down because you seem like a resolution guy. Am I right?
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't have any movies whatsoever on
Okay,
my
okay.
resolutions list, but one of my resolutions is related to watching. So I kind of formed my resolutions into a major and minor resolution. So in terms of major being, this is very priority because a lot of the items underneath this I want to get to, and the minor being these are things that are on my list and I will get to them, but it's not as high a priority. Like if I'm at a 50-50 split, I'll probably do one of the major ones before I do one of the minor ones. So I'm going to leave it up to you guys what you want me to go into, because since I've divvied them into two things, whatever sounds more enticing for you guys to hear right now.
I don't know. It's kind of like, do we want the best? Like the most definite? I don't know. Tiffany, it's your call.
Okay,
most definite. Let's see the major.
Yeah, most definite.
All right, the major. So this is the blanket term, but there's a lot of items that fall under this. And that is to finish what I've started in terms of watching. And so what I'm accompanying, so technically I guess, okay, there is a movie here, but it's generally related to things that either have been on my list in the past or things I've started watching and have not yet finished, or just things I haven't even like gone to yet. And so this is kind of like a ragtag combination of things. And really the most important thing is that, I've already started on this, and like you, Matt, right? Like, we're towards the end of January by the time we're recording this. And I feel like, especially like with any resolution, whenever you make it, I think it's more serious and you're taking it more seriously if by the time you're quote unquote saying it out loud, like it's something you're already actively working towards, because that really goes to show it's like, yes, I'm saying it out loud, but I'm making an earnest effort and am already on my way. And so with that, obviously it starts off with the long running CW show Supernatural.
Okay.
So Tiffany and I finished that basically at the very beginning of the new year this year. And that was something we were watching since it came, well, not since it came out, since like season 4.
2007.
Yeah. Like 3 or 4 seasons were out. And we finally finished it this year. And that was the longest running show at the time that I've ever watched. And so it's something I'm very proud of. We finished it. I think that ending was very suitable for what that franchise stood for. And it did, wrap up a lot of things. And honestly, there's nothing more I could ask of that franchise. I think it ended a long running show well. And definitely, I don't know how many other long running shows out there that, I've watched. Actually, I really haven't, if you're talking about like sitcoms and whatnot, I have not watched those yet, but it stuck the landing. And I think that's the most important thing, right? Especially when you've devoted that many episodes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
15
how many
seasons.
15 seasons. Oh my gosh.
We saw the actors like grow up.
Right in front of your eyes.
Yeah.
Wow. Because how old were they? Just roughly, how old were they? They were when they started it, and now.
You remember, like, one of the main actors was in Gilmore Girls, Jared Padalecki, and Jensen Ackles.
Know all about Dean. Yeah.
Yeah, Sam and Dean.
I'm Team Jess. I'm Team Jess, but he was there.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. His character in Gilmore Girls was named Dean. That's what you're referring to. Yeah. Well, in the show in Supernatural, his brother character is named Dean. But anyway,
that is really confusing. Okay.
Yeah. But they were like in their late 20s or mid to late 20s. Okay. Like I would argue that Jared Padalecki might have been like 25, 26, and 15 years of the show, man. You know what I mean? Like that's like what, 40?
So they probably started families and everything. Like, just think about, like, how many, like, lifetime milestones happened while on that show.
Fun fact, Jared Padalecki met his wife through Supernatural. She was an actress.
Wow.
Like, yeah, that was cast in Supernatural. And now, they have 3 beautiful children. And they've been married for a long time.
Wow. Crazy. Okay, so that's already happened. So you've already finished that, Alex? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, so that was the first major step of this journey
goal
of finishing that. And so in similar vein to that, the other show that I was referencing that I haven't, Tiffany and I also watched together but that we will get to eventually or later this year, The Big Bang Theory. So that also being, I think it's 13 or 14 total seasons, 20 some episodes each, like also a very long running show. And, Tiffany and I haven't finished it yet, but that is something that I'm also hopes will stick the landing and is something that will at least be a satisfying thing. Because I feel like at this point, having watched so many episodes of it, I think we've watched everything but I think we just have the last season to go. I'm not sure. It might be the last two
I think
seasons.
we have the last season. And we started that show when it started as well.
Right. And so finally getting to the end, I'm very excited, right? Because it's another thing I can say. I got through this, and I guess part of the fear is the longer we go without finishing it, who knows if it'll still be available later on. So there is that slight worry to say it could become unavailable on streaming platforms at any given time. Yes, you could still buy it probably on Blu-ray, but who buys Blu-rays these days anyway?
So 2 questions. When was the last season? Did it just finish in real life?
No,
I have not been keeping up with it.
Did you ever watch the show?
Like, it's one of those shows where I would watch it if it was on. I knew the characters, some of them by name.
Right.
But, like, I would never watch them, like, in order. You know what I mean? It was one of those shows to me.
Well, we watched them in order, and the final episode aired in May of 2019.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've now caught up. And 2, my second question.
We will catch up.
Do you all watch this together? Like, not virtual, not, like, in different places. You, like, watch this together? Is that how you guys do it? Or
yeah, so Supernatural and Big Bang Theory were shows that we started together when we were younger, I guess, and we would only watch them together. Like we never like said like, well, I want to watch it, so I'm gonna watch it solo. And we did do some distance watching with like Discord, like group viewing and stuff, but that was very few and far between because it was a little bit challenging to coordinate like I mean, Netflix Party is pretty useful, but like HBO doesn't have that, or at least it didn't when we tried. So that's why it's always been almost like a task whenever we would visit each other. Yeah. We're like, this trip is to finish one season of Supernatural. Like, do you know what I mean?
That's hilarious. Yeah. So this goal is kind of a little bit your goal too, Tiffany.
Inadvertently, yes.
Inadvertently, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so
it would be nice to see the end of Big Bang Theory.
I believe in you guys. So outside of Big Bang Theory, is there more? Or
so there is. So in a way, this is another long-running show, and that you and I have talked about this. It's very obvious. It's an anime. Wow. I've been, a game has come out recently that has reignited my interest in this very long-running anime. Some might say the longest-running anime out there. I don't know. I don't know if Dragon Ball counts. If you count all of its seasons together, who knows?
Yeah.
But that anime is One Piece, and so here I am in the towards the end of January. Since I've reignited, I started watching this again in January, so in this same month, I've gone through over 260 episodes of the anime.
You need to clarify.
In order to try and cover the content that is covered in the games, One Piece Odyssey. Now, I will clarify.
Do those 260 count like skipped episodes?
Exactly.
Yeah, so in clarifying this, it is a combination of skipping the filler. So I do not watch the filler. I mean, albeit surprisingly, especially during this period, there's actually not that much like pure filler episodes. Like of the 260, I would say maybe like 15 episodes are actual fully filler, like non-canon story, right? Like they're just filling the airtime in between, catching up to the manga story. But I'm also tackling at it, right? Obviously, One Piece, as it currently stands, over 1,000 episodes. I think it's at 1,046 episodes or something along those lines. We're almost, breaching 1,100. Who would thought anything out there would have that many episodes? But I am respecting my time in a way of I am skimming through parts. So I know maybe the purists out there are hearing me and turning off the podcast. But to explain myself, don't have a lot of limited free time, or I have limited free time as anyone does, right? Like no one has unlimited free time. And it is that thing where I'm being honest with myself. some of these characters, I don't want to see them doing the exact same thing with the exact same struggles, every like 3 episodes for like 10 minutes at a time, right? Like I know Usopp is going to be struggling with something. I know Sanji's going to be struggling with women. I know Chopper is going to be struggling with people calling him a tanuki and not a reindeer, which is what he is. He's not a tanuki. And so there's a lot of these tropes that come up, especially in the show, right? And this isn't something you can just breeze through like reading the manga, that they like to just repeat and fill the airtime. So even though these episodes do have legitimate story content in it, a lot of the times there are several minutes where it just isn't really constructive, right? Like it's things about the characters, and me watching it again isn't going to make me feel any different, right? Because it's just reinforcing an aspect of the character I already understand. And so a lot of skimming going on, but I am at least, paying attention to the main story arcs, right? So currently, just to start off, so where I started was Thriller Bark. So that is the arc where they meet the skeleton crew member Brooke, who's a musician.
So good. So good. Love that.
Where I'm currently at as of recording, I'm at the Punk Hazard arc. So this is where they're on the island with Caesar Clown. If you can't, in case, I'm just going to say these names, so there's no spoilers in between. If you know it, you know it. But that's where I started, and that's where I currently am. And I'm having a great time. Honestly, there's a reason why I started watching it way back when, during college, because I knew that I would enjoy it. But obviously, since then, there's a lot of things that happened. Part of the reason I stopped watching was because of how daunting it was, seeing how many episodes there are, to ask anyone to go through that many episodes is maybe a non-starter, right? To say like, you'll enjoy this story. And then if they ask you how many episodes it is and you tell them it's over 1,000, people aren't going to touch it probably with a 10-foot pole. And so I think the game was enough where I was really enjoying the game, but however, it was making a lot of references that I realized I had not encountered yet. And so in order to avoid having further references in the game exposed to me before I actually see them in the story, I decided to get back into watching it. And I've been having a great time. So really, it's falling in line with me going into these other long-running shows that I finally am catching up on. And so all of this is just a nice like combination, like whirlwind of finishing a lot of these things that I started.
Did you not know? So the one spoiler, like we didn't talk about this in real life. I know you said that you came across a spoiler in the game that you had not reached in the anime. Honestly, one of the biggest spoilers, I think, of the entire series. Did you know anything about that, or was it like a true spoiler from the game?
I think so. Technically, also from that same event, like Luffy's look is a consequence of that. And so I guess I didn't realize at the time that he looks like that because of that event. But also, I think I might have heard in passing that spoiler. But I think by the end of the day, though, I probably wasn't like 100% sure it happened. And so the fact that the game referenced it and me not having seen it, it was a thing of, it felt like deja vu, but also I can't 100% confirm. So I would say it's not 100% a spoiler to me, but it was surprising for them to reference it, right? Because obviously this is way before it actually happens in the story. So I didn't think something like that would come up. But obviously the game is designed like for fans, right? It's for people that know the story, at least for what they cover. And so really, maybe it's my mistake for thinking they wouldn't make any references like that to later story elements earlier on.
You're at a breakneck speed for the anime. Like, you are in the arc right before where I'm at, and I'm reading. And I thought I was going quick. I'm at chapter 755.
Wow.
Out of a total of 1075. So like I'm still almost there. Like the game covers up until like 805, I think, is the end of this current arc that I'm in, which is technically the longest arc in One Piece. So it's one of the biggest ones, except the current one is probably going to pass it supposedly. But you are going so quick. Like I'm almost to the point of where I stopped reading the manga. So I'm, wow, I'm shocked. But also last weekend you texted me how many episodes you had watched, and I was like, okay, all right, Alex means business now. He's killing it. He's absolutely
I
killing
will
it.
say that obviously in order to make such progress, I am doing nothing else. Basically, my free time is watching One Piece. And so in order to get there, I'm not just like purely skimming. I'm still watching these episodes, guys. It's like you make it seem like, oh, this guy's skimming. He's probably watching like 1 second of every episode and moving on. It's like, no, I'm just not doing anything else with my free time. That's how much I'm watching this.
Yeah. Oh my. All right. So those are the three things. Which one you finished, and then the other two are what you're finishing this year?
Yeah, so they are kind of the tent poles of this category, but I do have a lot of other things that kind of build this up. So that's why, I have a major and minor, but there's a lot of elements to this. So those being the 3 longest running shows, one being I've finished it, and then 2 are somewhat, or one's in progress, and then one will be finished in the coming months, very imminently. But the other things are very adjacent. I mean, we've talked about it previously on the podcast, but stuff like The Glass Onion, A Knives Out story, like that is something I still need to watch, and I haven't yet. So in case you're looking out for
Alex, it is so good, man.
Yes, so that is on my to-do list. I love the first Knives Out. That is one of my favorite movies I've seen in the past 5 years in the theaters. And also similarly available on Netflix, Witcher Season 2. So I know there's been some news lately about the recasting of, Geralt and whatnot, but at least Henry Cavill's there for Season 2 and Season 3. So I need to watch those seasons, at least get through them, because I really enjoyed the first season, unlike a lot of people who didn't like the disjointed timeline storytelling. But in a way, I thought it was very interesting, at least to also demonstrate that these characters' arcs aren't the same, right? Like they all take place over different timelines. And so I felt like at least season 1 did a very good job in trying to give the viewer as much information as possible to understand these characters. So I appreciate that angle. And I'll at least watch season 2, if not also season 3. When Liam Hemsworth, becomes Geralt, who knows if I'll watch it, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
And
I technically still need to watch that too.
Oh yeah,
I fell off
there you go.
pretty hard.
You haven't seen Witcher season 2?
No, I stopped like kind of right in the middle.
Oh,
TV shows, I'm so hit or miss. It's tough for me. I feel like now that I've started and am in the second to last season of Breaking Bad, so like now like I'm in a groove with Breaking Bad, so I almost think that I'm a new man when it comes to TV shows, so maybe I should give it another try.
Yeah. Because I actually ended up watching the Witcher prequel show, the miniseries that came out like a couple weeks ago, and man, that was rough. That was rough. Was it? It was rough.
What was so rough about it?
The writing and the plot.
You're like everything.
Like Michelle Yeoh was a shining star of that.
Okay.
And I played Marvel Snap throughout 80% of watching that show.
So it sounds like it's a skip. Don't bother. Don't boot it up.
I honestly think that's correct.
All right. Recommended. Do not watch.
Yeah, I was kind of disappointed. I was disappointed. I wanted it to be good because I was so excited for Michelle Yeoh. She's the best part of that show. It's only 4 episodes too. I was like, oh, this will be fun. But I really couldn't get to care. I didn't care about the characters at all. And they didn't really do much to help me care. So, except for like 3 characters of the like 12.
Yikes. It just doesn't look good. I saw the the thumbnail and I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
That looks like someone just like spent too much time at Halloween City or whatever that
Spirit Halloween
costume thing. Spirit Halloween. Yeah, that's what it is. They're okay, so in my defense, they're usually like in the old circuit cities.
No, Party City bought Halloween, so now they're Halloween City.
That's right.
And in similar line to One Piece, I have two other animes.
Okay.
Both of them are anime I've been watching, so I just need to catch up and finish them. My Hero Academia, this is something that many people might be aware of. It's basically Marvel, but anime. So just go, if you need more superheroes in your life, go watch My Hero Academia. It's great. You know, they call their powers quirks in that show. So everyone's got a quirk except for the main character, but then he gets a quirk. Spoilers.
Oh my
And
gosh.
I have not started that. Do you think I would like it?
Oh man.
I've never watched any My Hero Academia.
Okay, wait, you love Naruto. Like,
yeah, love it.
And One Piece. I feel like you would like My Hero Academia.
I will say this. Okay. I mentioned last week's episode that I was anticipating Jujutsu Kaisen season 2, and I called it a very good shonen anime. I would say more so making a comparison of My Hero to Naruto. Like, My Hero is a very good shonen anime that I think will line up if you like Naruto.
Okay.
So yeah, I would recommend My Hero more than Jujutsu Kaisen.
Because the thing is like My Hero also has the school vibe. Like, there's a school. It's an academy. You know what I mean?
Well,
and then the
technically
exam...
Jujutsu Kaisen also has a school, so that argument's void, but
well, I don't know anything about that. I'm just validating My Hero Academia because when I think of Naruto, like not the original part of Naruto, like I think My Hero is very on par with that. So I think it's great. And Alex was advocating for me to watch that show for years before I finally did it. And then I did it and I got all in. In fact, I bought the box set of manga for my birthday last year.
Really?
The first 20 volumes in physical form that was released. It was legitimately released on my birthday and I got it. And I actually haven't. Maybe I should it be a goal that I should read it this year? I probably should.
Ooh, I like
don't know.
it.
We'll see.
We'll see.
I mean,
no,
it might.
You've already said it.
Listen, that actually might feed into another goal that I have, but I'll let Alex finish because he has 2 animes.
Yeah, the second, it's Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm one of the few weird people that actually watch the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime, and honestly, it's just satisfying, right? Like the showrunner that design, like they have a person on their team that is dedicated to the card battles. Like his job is designing the duels like for the show. So like he doesn't do anything else. It's like he designs the duels and then the showrunner like forms like the rest of the episodes around the duels. And so it's something where it's like a lot of the times the cards are reflective of the cards in the actual card game. And so like technically if you were, you could relive these like with the actual cards, like relive these duels. And so in a way, I guess it's just the nice thing of, oh, I wish X had an anime. Like imagine if Marvel Snap had an anime. Oh wait, that's just the MCU, right? But so I really enjoy it. And there's nothing more to say than that. I know it definitely hits a niche audience because 1, it is an anime, and 2, it is about card battling, which is very niche. So you're doubling down, but if it, makes me happy in all the right places in terms of it being a good show to watch just for a good time. And the final 2 things of my major category are Korean dramas.
Ooh,
so yeah, these are just 2 Korean dramas. One I started and one I haven't yet, but they're both on Netflix. So the first one's called Startup and then the second one's called Run On. And, Korean dramas is also another thing in my life that I watch, from time to time. And especially in the past few years, it's been one of the aspects of watching that I've fallen behind on in terms of not keeping up with. And so just to make a nice earnest effort of finishing something that I've started in the past and getting around to watching something that also has come out, but I'm interested in a couple of the actors that are in it, those are on my to-do list. So yeah, this is the gigantic umbrella that is my major priority of watching this year in 2023. So I'm making the earnest effort. We've made some good ground so far, but obviously there's a long road ahead for all of these things.
Alex, you killed it, man. Like honestly, like this when you said like a major and minor, I was like, oh, okay, like just a bigger to do. But like you really did like the bigger to do. Like that's a lot of things to catch up on, but I believe in you. Tiffany, I feel like you need to bring it now. Like Alex has set the stage for us. And I think it's your turn to kind of be like, you know what? I see that. That's cute and all, but bam.
I mean, so like I sort of like I actually was too afraid to commit to like naming shows point blank that I wanted to finish, because there are definitely like I know 2 off the bat that I need to, but I'm not even gonna say it. I'm not saying it. But
okay.
So one of my next goals that I was kind of maybe implying about is, so I'm a big reader. In the last year, I've really rekindled my love of reading, and my goal this year is to read 78 books this year. Last year, I made a goal of 52 books, and I smashed it. I read 61 last year, apparently, per Goodreads. I do all my tracking on Goodreads, and I log all the things that I can there, and that's where I get my statistics. And so the reason why I picked 78 books is because it's 1.5 books per week. That is where I got that number from.
The math does check out.
Yeah. So more specifically, I have a sub bullet for this. I specifically want to finish every book of the month book that I have purchased or will purchase this year as part of this goal. So I subscribe to Book of the Month, which apparently has been around for like more than 50 years. Like, I don't know. It's like apparently a very long, storied service of getting a book, like selecting a book of the month and reading it. And I joined as a new member last year, and I've literally bought maybe 9 books. I'm going to say maybe a little bit less. Maybe it's like 7 to 9 books from Book of the Month last year, and I've only read 3 of them. 4 of them, actually. I've read 4 of them.
Okay.
And so now I'm like, why I keep getting this monthly subscription of books and I'm not even like keeping up with it? Like, that's shameful. So in order to improve my self-esteem, as part of my goal of reading 78 books this year, I want to specifically read those. Now, because I also use Goodreads actually lists every book. Like, okay, what I mean to say is that if I were to read My Hero Academia, all the volumes, it would count as like 20 books because there's 20 volumes. So I don't know if people would call that artificially inflating it. I don't know. I mean, I'm cool. I don't like read books just because I'm like, oh, it's only 300 pages, so I can like count it for my Goodreads. Like, that doesn't matter to me. Yeah.
Can we make a modification to that goal?
No, I didn't modify your goal.
That's true, but I want to challenge you because Matt seemed also interested in somewhat making these, right? Like, these are resolutions. Obviously, you've already read. How many books have you read so far?
Oh, that's a great question. So, per Goodreads, my count is already at 21.
Oh, okay. You're killing it. And so I do want to modify this.
What?
I would like to challenge you for one of these 78 books, at least. So only one. It must be a nonfiction book.
No. Actually, wait a minute. Okay, I can do that. One of my 78 has to be nonfiction.
Yes.
That's okay. I'll do it because I actually just started a couple weeks ago, The Subtle Art of Not Giving an F, and that is a nonfiction book. So I just have to finish that one.
Sure.
And it should count. Okay. Have you heard of it? It's like motivational.
No. Oh, okay. It sounds motivational.
The Subtle Art of Not Giving an F. That is very popular book.
Did you say that you read 21 books already this year?
Yes. So this is also kind of a weird. Let me explain. I can explain. So
she has only been reading and Marvel Snap.
I mean, yes, that's essentially it. I've really been
Fire Emblem engaged. Get out of here.
Yeah, I've been literally
not engaged enough. Get out.
Disengaged.
Yeah.
For 2 weeks, I've literally just been like a gremlin, and I haven't like left my home, and I've like logged off work. I've fed myself dinner. I took a shower, and then I'm literally just reading. Like, I've just been very much in it. Now, there is something to say that I've found that webtoons are on Goodreads. So that also kind of might be inflating my numbers a bit, because each season, like a webtoon season, which is 40 to 60 chapters, will count as one book. Mm-hmm. So if I'm like reading, a comic that has 3 seasons, that's 3 books, you know what I mean? But it takes me forever. Like, it's a lot of story. Like, people think comics are just pictures. No, there's a lot of reading involved.
There is a lot of reading, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, one nonfiction book. Deal.
Okay.
Let's see if it happens.
Yeah, I think that's good.
I don't know.
I think it will. You're already at 21. Like, I think it will keep going.
Yeah, so making the numbers.
Here's my thing, Tiffany.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, Alex, because Alex, you don't live in the same city as Tiffany and I, which is sad. But you weren't there yesterday when we went to trivia. We went to trivia. We were able to play Pixar and Disney trivia. And I won't tell you, as being humble, we won't tell you what place we got. It may have been first place. It may have been last place. Who's to know?
Oh, yeah. Only the most humblest of people here in this podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we did not place at all. We were not doing super hot. But it was still a lot of fun. Lot of fun. So we went yesterday, and for about 10 minutes, Tiffany, some of her other friends, were just talking about some person. I don't even remember who. And some person that's written a bunch of books, and they're going through the book orders and like, oh, you should read this one first, and then you should read this one first. You know how lost I was that entire conversation, Alex? I needed someone there, which I did. Like, Maddie doesn't read very much. Both of us don't.
What
read
are books?
Very much. Like, what are books? Yeah. Why would they put a movie in paper? And so we were sitting there, and I was thinking, you know what? I should do something about this. And so what I propose for one of my goals this year, one of my resolutions this year, you know how many books I read last year, Tiffany and Alex?
1.
2.
How many books? 1 book. The Silmarillion was the one book that I read last year.
Nice.
So this year, and this is going to be an active thing.
It's 2 books.
Yes.
I would like to read. No, listen. We're not about these weak goals, Alec. We're not doing 2 books. We're going I want something that I'm going to have to put in a lot of effort, because I don't read very often, so it's going to change my life. I want to read 1 book a month. So I want to read 12 books this year. I have downloaded Goodreads, and I can't.
Can we be friends?
I can't find you, so you're probably not even using your real name. I guess.
I am using my real. I am using my real name. I'll find you. We'll find each other.
All right. I want to read 12 books, and here's the thing: I have not started.
Can I recommend one? Can I recommend one?
Yes. Yeah.
Project Hail Mary.
You've told me enough about this that I will go pick it up, and I will read it, and I'll enjoy it. But I'm going to rate them kind of similar to how I was doing with the movies. Movies a little bit more aggressive, but I think 12, honestly, I think this, out of all of them, I think this will be my hardest recommendation, or my hardest goal this year to complete. Just because, I'm watching movies, I'm watching TV, playing games, doing all sorts of things. But
you know what?
Like,
Matt,
books, tough.
You can log One Piece on there.
See, but here's the thing. I could do that. And I could do Invincible, because I want to finish that too. That's not going to be one of my goals, because I expect that to happen, right?
Okay.
But I want 12 real books. And
okay.
And not to say anything about comics, I enjoy comics so much, but I want 12 books, and I want some fiction, I want some nonfiction in there. I want to just learn more. I feel like the problem is this. I
love that.
We all 3 of us, I would say we read for our job. Like, we have to read for our job. And so honestly, that's a big reason why I don't pleasure read, because I'm like, I have to read so much to keep up to date on like what recommendations to give. And so it's like, I have to read so much for my job. The last thing I want to do at night is to read more. And it sounds so stupid and silly, because I really think there's a lot of like power in books, but like, so I want 12 real books that I want to be able to talk to you guys about and tell you, this was my favorite book this year. So if you guys have recommendations, I'll take the Project Hail Mary, but I'll keep you guys updated, and you guys can follow me on Goodreads and see my progress throughout the year. So I'm really excited.
I'm excited about that. I love it.
Matt over here about to hit that reading rainbow,
That's right. Where's my free personal pan pizza? Come on, Pizza
Honestly,
Hut.
That's what I really probably started my love of reading.
That's the last time I read. That, honestly.
No, that can't be true, because like you own like the Witcher books too. Like you've read in your past, Matt. Like you just fell out. It sounds like you just fell out of it, And that's just it feels like the normal way of life. Like, we read so much when we were younger.
You're right.
But okay, can I talk to you what I think might be my hardest goal of the year? I don't think the 10 movies and the books is gonna be an issue, but this is okay. This is my hardest goal, I think. Reach the galactic level in Marvel Snap. This is one of my goals this year, okay?
I was choked on my water.
Galactic is 90, right?
Yes, I do know Galactic is 90.
Okay.
So you're not going for Infinity.
I'm not going for Infinity. I'm going for Galactic. So one of my goals this year is to, in one season, at least one season, make it to the Galactic level.
Okay.
In Marvel Snap.
This game so much
has consumed me. I am surprised at how much I enjoy it. I'm surprised at how much I've been playing it. I'm not going to lie. This game is overtaking my time to play Fire Emblem Engage. And it's just like absurd. I don't know. It's wild. Because it's also funny is that the week, so I started playing it Christmas Day, and I played for a week, like nonstop. Maybe actually it's probably more for like 9 days. But then I like hit I'll just log in, twice a day. Missions, let me do some of those. I've missed a couple. Like I had 6 just piled up, and like I skipped a couple days here and there. But in the last week, I've been back at it. Like I'm playing it when I'm like lunch break, gotta play like, several rounds. I'm like, I'm like pacing. I'm doing exercise and like playing Marvel Snap as part of my exercise, like because I'm like walking and stuff, and like I can just like look. I'm in a safe environment for me to do this. By the way, to like be exercising and playing Marvel Snap, but like I'm doing that. It's just like I'm doing it right before I go to bed. I stayed up an extra hour last night playing Marvel Snap because I was like, I can just make it a level up in the season. Like it's insane, but I'm not good. Like I'm not. So I'm going to try to get good and get to 90.
What is your season level right now?
Yeah.
My season level is 53.
Oh, so you're higher than me. I don't know what you're talking about. You're good.
No, Matthew. I'm like playing a lot of rounds and like fulfilling missions. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to be good to get in the season.
Oh, sorry. Not that level. The level that you're trying to get to level 90. What is that called? Maybe it's not called
I'm
season
so
level.
sorry.
I think that's just like rank, like season rank.
Rank.
Okay, yeah, what's your season rank? Yeah.
Oh, right now I'm at 52.
52. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I'm at 50. Cuz I keep going between 50 and 52. It's a never-ending thing. Every season I make it to between 50 and 54, and I never go past 54, and then you get downgraded by 30.
Yes.
And it's awful. It's so awful.
Yeah, so like I imagine that I was struggling between 30 and 40 for like a week.
Okay.
And like it wasn't until literally today I got to 50. So or 50, yeah, I made it past the 50 mark. So like I imagine it will just be an uphill battle. But you know what? There's going to be, I imagine, 11 more seasons, maybe 10 because like for some reason this season's 5 weeks and the month of February is inherently shorter. So who knows?
Yeah,
like there might only be like 10 more seasons this year, but you know, I'm gonna try to get good and like learn the strats and do my best.
And always snap turn 1. You know,
No,
that is what's getting me going. Is once the game loads before even the first location reveals, I'm smashing that cube. We're snapping. So you're paying 2 cubes to play with me. That's all I'm saying.
It's so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. What if they snap back?
Then we're going for 4 cubes for the first look. Sometimes it's also better because it's like the mine is the mines are the first location right now because it's the hot location.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I know we're both skipping turn 1 to destroy those rocks, but you're committed to at least 2 cubes if you're skipping turn 1. So we're in it for the long haul.
Oh my god.
What season rank are you, Alex?
So right now I'm at 53.
Okay.
But I've peaked at 54 for this season. But when I played back in beta, so that would be the Love and Thunder month. So back in July when Thor Love and Thunder came out, that was the season theme. I reached 72. So that was the highest I've ever hit. Yeah. So if she hits 90, that'll be even higher than I've hit, at least as of right now. So that there's a long climb
Tiffany,
ahead.
Tiffany, this is tough. Like
yeah,
you're braver than I am because I just some people are just so good. Like their combos are just not what I think of, and I feel like I'm just basically a vanilla deck. Like everybody plays similar to how I play in a lot of ways. So
you know,
oh man,
you're not wrong. But like, I mean, reach for the stars, right? Like reach for the stars, and maybe I'll make it to the clouds. You know. Like that's still high. Right. That's still higher.
Shoot for
than
the
I'm
moon,
at.
and if you miss, you're still amongst the stars. You know?
Yeah, that's it.
There you go.
Yeah,
wow,
and you know, it's RNG also. You know, like what if like the cards that I just have? It depends. So
got to speak to the heart of the cards for sure.
Yes.
All right, Alex. I'm thoroughly interested in your minor criteria or your minor goals.
Okay, so my minor goal this year. So the major goal was watching. So obviously the minor goal is playing.
Ooh.
And so this minor goal, and it's something I've also already worked towards. You know, part of it on your recommendation, Matt. And so, in the spirit of it, my minor goal this year is to play more indie games. So, you know, on this podcast, I've talked a lot about pedigree. You know, when we did our fantasy draft, I was making mentions. I'm picking games based on the pedigree. You know, these are AAA budgets, AAA publishers. These are the big dogs that know they're going to put in a lot of money. And, you know, hopefully the product that comes out is representative of all that money that was invested. On the flip side, you know, are the independent game devs out there, heck, even game devs of one person. And so in line with this, I've started this year off, you know, with Matt's recommendation from last year, Tinykin. What a great game. You know, collectathon,
so good.
Pikmin-esque style game.
So good.
That I got the platinum in, and even Tiffany got the platinum in. That's how much you know that this is a fun game to play if Tiffany was willing to get the platinum in it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And so this started off my year of playing indie games, and following it up, as I mentioned, I'm playing a game that was made by, well, at least the coding was done by one person. Obviously, he licensed out for some music. You know, he had some help on it. And that is Chained Echoes. So this is a turn-based RPG that is 2D, you know, sprite, pixel art, but it has a lot of heart in terms of it has a lot of modern sensibilities that I think can do that genre justice. Like there's no grinding in this game. Like all the battles are bespoke, so they occur at specific points. And really, in order for you to get through the battle, it's really just the strategy. It's for you to maintain what they call the overdrive gauge and to use that gauge to your advantage in order to increase the damage output of your characters while also decreasing the amount of damage you take. And so I really like it so far. I've only put in around 5 or so hours because I've put it down to play some other things, a la like One Piece Odyssey. But it is definitely a independent RPG that I'm really enjoying, that I think goes to show, obviously if you're not having to put in AAA level budgets, you're allowed to take risks, right? You're allowed to change the design and make it something different and unique. And I think Chained Echoes is really achieving that. And on the flip side, a few of the things are older games that have already come out, but that we've mentioned on the podcast, but that I still need to get to. Stuff like Toem, that's a fun little picture-taking game.
Yeah,
that Tiffany's played a little bit of black and white art, but I think I'll have some fun with it, right? Because it's so short.
Yeah,
and it's on PS Plus, right? PS Plus, Basic or whatever it's called.
I think it was one of the free games
Essential
that we got. Yeah. Oh. So it was one of the free games. One of them.
Okay. Yeah.
And the other being Chicory, A Colorful Tale, also was available via PS Plus Central as a free game last year, one of the months. And so these are two games that have been out, and I've seen at least Tiffany play one of them, and I just know it's going to be just a nice casual time, right? Like, obviously there's a deep kind of complex story maybe hidden underneath the colorful cheeriness. But I think it'll just be something nice to be able to play these games and also not expect that much. Not to say I don't think these will be great games, but obviously you're playing it for that fun, right? The pure fun of it, which a lot of the reason you're playing games in the first place, right? It is to get enjoyment out of it. And so, I'm not there looking for a story that's going to bring me to tears like God of War, or to see like 4K 120 FPS performance, right? Like, these aren't technical powerhouses. Like, obviously I'm gonna be playing games like that, right? Stuff like Marvel Spider-Man 2 when that comes out later this year, like that game's gonna look great. But there's things that Spider-Man's can't do due to how big it is, right? Because it's such a big IP, a lot of people working on this. It's not gonna, or maybe it will surprise us, who knows. But that's not what I'm expecting out of it.
So are you putting a number? Are you putting a number on this? Or are you specifically, these are the games that these X number of games?
So I've comprised these lists as things I will get to. Like, these are the minimum. So I don't have a maximum on these things. So the watching, everything I've mentioned, if I don't get through at least everything I listed in this episode, go back and re-listen to what I said, then it's a failure. Like, these are my minimum goals. And so same thing with these games.
We love lists here. We love them.
Yeah.
And so those 3 games, 2 other games that came out last year that have been mentioned in the past. Stray, I do want to get to that. That was nominated for GOTY. I feel like if it was nominated for GOTY, I at least need to check it out, right? It's one of those things where I enjoy games enough where I think I want to try and at least get an understanding of everything, especially the GOTY nominees. Kind of similar to maybe the Oscars. Something might happen with that later on. Who knows? And
in the same vein, though, are you going to play Plague Tale Requiem?
That is also on the list. Yes, I do want to get to that. Technically, it is an indie if you think about it. Like, I know the publisher is a little bit kind of mid-range, but that developer, started with Plague Tale and then went right into the sequel. And so really it is surprising to see these games come out so quickly. And we do have access to the first one for free. It was a PS Plus game at one point. So I'll get through the first one at least and then get to Requiem because that was also nominated. And as I mentioned, the other one being a FMV game, Immortality. I do want to play this mostly because it is full motion video. It's been a long time since I've played any game like it. And it's a mystery. And I think definitely, besides puzzle games, I don't play a lot of games that are more focused about the mystery of the story. And so I'm interested to see how it pans out, especially because it got some nominees during the Game Awards last year as well. And 2 of the games for this year haven't come out yet, but hopefully they will, that I am interested in. Obviously, Sea of Stars, I drafted this on my Fantasy Critic because I am highly anticipating this RPG, also 2D pixel art, but I think it's going to have a lot of heart. And the other one, that's on, I think, all three of our radars, The Plucky Squire. If this game comes out, I'll be playing it this year.
Oh, it looks so good. It looks so good.
That looks really good. So that was your minor goal, and actually my last goal is in the same vein. I have a lot of struggles finishing games. You've mentioned Toem and Chicory. I've played those, and I haven't finished them. I did finish Stray and Tinykin, but so this is why I decided for my last goal, it would be to roll credits on 3 games: Fire Emblem Engage, Hogwarts Legacy, and Spider-Man 2. Now, the reason why I say these 3 games, number 1, the first Spider-Man game took me like 3.5 years to finish. I legitimately played Spider-Man.
She hit that first Mary Jane section. She was in.
And you're like, I'm out.
I was playing Spider-Man, and I bought the Spider-Man PS4. Like, I got the special edition. I got the game. The DLC came with it. I was like all in on it. I loved it. And then I got to the battle with like Vulture, and I got to one of the final boss battles with Vulture and Shocker, I think, was the 2 combo. Mm-hmm. Literally could not beat them. And I was like, no, because I tried it. Alex was like, you can put down the difficulty. And I was like, no, I don't. Once I've set the difficulty, I don't change it. Like that was my MO. So I like literally put it down. I didn't, 2018, right? Was when that game came out. It wasn't until like 2020 I think it was like 2020. I finally, because I was like, I need to finish this for Miles Morales. So I finished it, and I did, and I didn't turn down my difficulty, and I made it through. So I'm hoping that with Spider-Man 2, I don't fall into the same trap again. However, that's why I'm holding myself accountable and making that was my goal. So these 3 games, Hogwarts Legacy, Fire Emblem Engage, and Spider-Man 2, I need to roll credits by December 31st, 2023.
Okay. I'll hold you to it. My last goal is very, very similar to yours, Tiffany. But it is not 3 games.
Oh, no.
It is 1 game.
300.
Oh, it's what? Oh.
Do you know what game that I am referring to?
Your goal is to finish 1 game before the end of the year. Is that going to be?
Nope. That's.
That's not your goal.
Oh well, yes. Yes. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I was
thought
like,
you were saying like total 1 game.
No. I mean like this 1 game. So my guess of this game is Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom.
I do plan on finishing that. I do plan on finishing, well, at least 2 of the 3 of the games that you listed. Fire Emblem Engage may happen, may not happen. Just depends on time.
Right.
The game that I'm talking about, and the game that I want to not only finish, but platinum. And then not only finish in platinum, but also have a peer review episode before the year is up, is Persona 5 Royal. Because I have been thinking about this game nonstop since I started playing One Piece Odyssey. Because
really?
One Piece Odyssey is a fun JRPG. Outside of One Piece and everything about One Piece, it is just a worse version of Persona 5 Royal, which in my mind is kind of like the standard, right? Like it is so good. I've started Persona 5 Royal. I started following a guide because I didn't want to miss anything, because I kind of get anxiety when you can choose to like go hang out with this person, go do this, go train, go whatever. Like I'm just like, no. I want a linear path to finish this game. I want to see all the great character development, stop hiding it behind things. Like, I don't want to choose, all right? I just want to like really focus in. I got behind on my guide, and so it didn't match up. And so I want to restart this game and finish it this year, platinum it, and then do a peer review. And I would like to invite both of you to this peer review. Alex, you have finished it. You have like you are the Persona 5 person that I know that is a fan. You like it, and I would like for you to be there. But
he's
Tiffany,
nonstop smiling, and Alex
Tiffany,
has like literally been smiling for the last like 10 minutes since you've been bringing this up.
There's a complication with this that I feel like I'm getting roped into. So I played base Persona 5. I did not play the Royal version. And so with Royal, there is story content that was added. So I feel like, and it is entwined with the game. So parts of it is while you're playing like the base version, but the whole final section of the game is content I've never seen. Like I haven't even looked up spoilers as to what happens because I'm like,
wow.
I played 5 when it came out. I loved it. And it took me 120 hours to get that platinum.
Exactly.
So when Persona 5 Royal came out, I was very much not interested at the time to put in another 120 some hours to get the platinum.
Well, here's the thing, Alex. I'm giving you an out because you've already done 120 hours. I would like for you to be there. For how much preparation work you do ahead of time, I'll leave that up to you. All right? If you want to watch spoiler stuff, if you feel inclined to play the game, that's totally up to you. But I'll leave that on you, right? Because I can't just talk to myself. Who's gonna listen to a peer review or just talk to myself? Am I right?
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Wow.
But here's the thing. Did I just invite Alex? No, I said the two of you. So here's my challenge, Tiffany.
Oh my gosh.
I would like for you to play Persona 5 Royal alongside with me. And we'll take it in chunks. We'll do like first boss, second boss, like go that bit, or like month to month. We'll figure it out. I want us to complete this together, and then the three of us have a peer review at the end of the year to talk about Persona 5 Royal.
Would it make it more digestible if we did it book club style and did it boss by boss?
Listen, I'm there for it. I can do that. Tiffany, what do you think?
Like, have smaller checkpoints? Is that what you're talking?
Basically each palace would be a checkpoint, and then we talk about like each palace as you move forward.
But I don't want to restart my file. I have like 40 hours in my...
How many palaces have you done? 2 or 3 or?
I think I did 3, or I'm in the middle of the third one.
Okay.
The bank. Which one's the bank?
The bank.
Is that the third one?
I think it's third. Yeah,
yeah,
I think the
I'm
second one was what I was on, and that was, I think it was
the
on the
gym?
final boss. I think it's
the museum.
Oh, the museum.
It's the museum, yeah.
Yeah.
So
you know what?
We can do it as many times as you like. Like we can, if you want to pick up where you're at, finish the third one. I can catch up to you. That could be our big first episode, and then we can do palace by palace.
That's fair.
I think it would just be awesome because Persona 6 is going to happen at some point. And when it launches and when it happens, I don't want to be like, man, do I have to play Persona 5 Royal now? Like, I want to get ahead of this.
That's true. I mean, it'd probably be unrelated, to be completely honest. But, okay,
true,
you know what?
True.
You know what? You're right. Like, this is I should finish that game. There are a lot of other games I should finish. So why not Persona 5 Royal? And I'm not going to make myself platinum that game because I don't want that pressure.
I don't want to put that on you. Nope.
Okay, thank you. So, it's no Tinykin. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 50 times more than Tinykin.
Yeah. Okay, so... Okay.
More to come. We'll plan offline, but I think that'll be so much fun. And I think that's my last one. That's my last one. Does anyone else have any goals before we go, or is that it? We good?
Yeah, I mean,
yeah. Well,
man, she just wants to keep adding goals over there.
No, I guess.
Tiffany,
I mean, I had one.
Don't limit
I just added a goal to you. So if you want another goal, go for it.
That's true. I mean, it was more nebulous. My other goal was just gonna be play more games, like play more board games, play more video games. Like that's just what I want to do. Like I want to do both of those things. Just do more of them.
Yeah. I would like that too. I would definitely like that too. But guess what? These are a perfect set of New Year's resolutions towards the end of January. Only 11 months to go, but we are going to nail these. It's going to be fantastic. Resolutions, goals for 2023. I feel like they're going to happen, and it's going to be great. So if you want to tell us, listen, I'm interested in Tiffany's resolutions. I'm interested in Alex's resolutions. We're going to keep each other accountable. We're going to see what we do. But guess who else would be interested in hearing from? We'd be interested to hear from you. So you all who have been listening to these resolutions, get on your laptop, get on your smart device, email us at rxp.podcast@gmail.com or find us on Twitter at rxp_podcast. You can also find us on YouTube, RXP Podcast, like, subscribe, do all those things. Click the bell or whatever so you know when a new episode comes up, all of those things. And just let us know, what do you want to get done in 2023? Because guess what? We're doing it. We're doing it this year. So reach out to us. We'd love to hear from you. Shout out to Grandmaster Doug for the tunes as always, keeping us in 2023. But until next time, peace.
You need to clarify.
That's right. Where's my free personal pan pizza?